Okay, everyone, it's me, Bankai 9. You know what time it is. Thousand Year Blood War. So here we are. Thousand Year Blood War, Season 3, Episode 9. Don't chase a shadow. Is that the actual one? Let me see here. Don't chase a shadow, right? Now, last week, we got Mayuri. And he showed his bankai and everything in between. Now, at the beginning of this episode, we do see things turning. Not well. Turning on the flip side for Mayuri. The baby that ate the Perninda, not doing so well. It kind of explodes. So Perninda gets away. Escapes from its eating by a baby. Anyway. After that happens, in this episode, we have Kyouraku and everybody else running from their lives, and Kyouraku decides to stop. Because he knows the ones that's chasing him is, I believe his name is Baro. Baro Lil. Now, he shoots Kyouraku, but that's not him. It is his shadow that he shoots. And he comes out behind him, slices his gun nozzle, and that's where we start this. Now, the whole premise of Kyouraku's Zanpakuto has to do with child games and how, you go within the shadows, and he's able to go within the shadows and attack his opponent. That's his whole bit. However, his bankai is completely different. His bankai is essentially a play. Now, honestly, it's been a while, like I said, when I read the manga of the Thousand Year Blood War. But I do remember this happening. And I thought this was animated very nicely with the whole, he's getting shot by Baro, and now all of a sudden, once his bankai comes out, he thinks he's defeated Kyouraku. No, he's got holes appearing on him. And he does reveal his ultimate form, Baro, which is kind of disgusting looking. It's like this white thing, and he's got green wings, and the holes in the wings create the holes when he shoots. And he chases Kyouraku for a good amount of time. Kyouraku defends himself with a Hado, and he leaves. And that's when he activates bankai. We get only one scene, it was just Ichigo against JoJo character. And he's about to do something to Ichigo, but that gets wiped once Kyouraku activates his bankai. Because his bankai goes the whole freaking radius of the royal palace. So, basically, the bankai, as explained, is in 4 acts. First act deals with sharing a person's wounds, which happens instantaneously. Baro has the same wounds on his body that Kyouraku does. The second act is an incurable disease or sickness that he's got these spots and he's bleeding from his eyes, Baro. Then the third act comes in, which is drowning. It's like one after another. After that occurs, we get a moment where we see Huron, which is basically the manifestation of Kyouraku's Zanpakuto. Because his Zanpakuto is split up into 2 different things. And Haran is basically the bankai, well, his Zanbakuto. And she shows up, has a conversation with him, and then Baro says, he has this whole spiel about my majesty and simping for my majesty and all this other crap. Rushes in and then comes in Act 4, which basically insinuates the woman killing her husband, and he goes like this with his finger, and it's kind of crazy when this happens because Baro's head just fucking explodes and he just falls into like the deepest part of the where the water was. And we just basically have Kyouraku with Haran, and he's just resting on her lap. And that was the episode. Overall, I do want to say one thing. I do like this bankai. Because bankais that cover a huge area and are more... Because you see, like, most bankais, you take a look at the series in Bleach, are one-dimensional. Now, I'm not saying it's bad one-dimensional. For example, Byakuya. His is just a bigger version of... Sembozaka Kakiyoshi is just a bigger version of his Shikai. Same thing with Renji. Same thing with all the others. But you see, what's interesting about Yamamoto's and Kyouraku's is they happen to be multiplied. They are different levels of their bankai that were within that one bankai. For example, as I stated, Kyouraku has a play. And there are 4 acts in the play, and each act is completely different from the other. And Yamamoto also had different facets of his bankai that were illustrated when he fought Yuha. Fuck. Now, I truly do like this bankai. And it's just interesting to have that and to see those different versions come into play. Because you see the enemy, and this is my point of view for this Baro guy, you're kind of a moron. You kind of are. So he was saying in the fucking episode, we have data on you. Oh yeah? Do you have data on this bankai? No, you don't. And you don't know what it does. And you're dead. Which is kind of crazy. Because he gets punched full of holes because he shares the wounds that Kyouraku did. Which means that if he didn't attack Kyouraku, well, if he attacked him and killed him right off the bat, he would have lived. He would have defeated him. But he didn't do that. Got holes in him. Then he had a disease, bleeding from the eyes. Then he was drowning. And no matter how hard he flew with his stupid green wings, he couldn't escape. This was like the death knell. The absolute death knell for this character when fighting Kyouraku. And then Kyouraku does the final act, 4th act, slit his throat. Dead. So, this was pretty final, you know? And he's like, no, he's not too good around. And it's almost as if I was kind of thinking about what some people were saying on Facebook, I think. Like, once he became the head captain commander out of the 13 court guard squads, he ain't no longer going to be the cool guy. He's not going to be chill. He's going to be like, I'm going to fucking kill you. And that's exactly what happened. I got to give this a 9 out of 10. This was great. This was fantastic. Next week, we go back to Mayuri. So, yeah, this fight isn't over premiere day. It's not over. But this is going to be more different in a way, because I think, I don't really remember, I remember some things from the manga. And I do remember Nemu has a more direct involvement in the battle, I believe. But like I said, 9 out of 10 for this one. Good win for Kyouraku. I don't think he died. He doesn't. No, I don't think he's dead. I don't remember him dying. No, that doesn't happen. But good win for Kyouraku. One Sternritter down of them. So it's going to be interesting to see where this goes from here. Yeah. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was done very well to a T of the acts of his bankai. And we'll see where this goes from here. Like I said, Mayuri next week. That's a whole bag of what the hells with him and Perninda. It's going to be insane. This has been Bankai 922. I'll catch you guys later.